Here's Business Spotlight from your local voice.
Good morning. Good morning. This is Tuesday, Halloween Tuesday. And today this is when we join one of our great business partners, Triumph Bank, Tracy Strickland, and we're talking growth. Good morning, Tracy.
Good morning, and happy Halloween, George. How are you?
And to you, I'm
Thanks.
doing great, and it looks like we're going to have the perfect weather for those little goblins out there.
Nice and chilly and no rain. That's a good thing for all the candy that's going to be picked up today. I know my kiddos are so excited. So
You know, I just want to take a quick side note from that, talking about the candy.
Oh, yeah.
Last week, we met some people. We were in Arlington doing a spotlight, and we met
great.
these two young dentists that are doing, they've got practices for children. It's a children's dentistry.
that's great.
They're doing great things, giving back all over, the country, and then, in the world, doing,
Yes.
going and helping.
Awesome.
But one of the cool things that they do on Halloween is that they will buy the candy back from the kids for $1 a pound.
Wow.
It's the market's up. It's $1 a pound, and then they take the candy and they ship it to our troops
That's
overseas.
awesome.
So
That's incredible.
and that's happening right here in the Mid-South.
Oh, I love it. Well, I know last year my kids were trick-or-treating, and my then 8-year-old said the greatest thing he received was somebody was about to leave and forgot to get their candy, and they just gave him $1, and he literally had thought he had
It's a
earned, got the jackpot. So
struck it
that
big.
might pay off for them in a big way. But George, I'm real excited to be here as always, and it is a fun morning. We promise not to give too many tricks. We'll provide a few
Right,
treats that we
Yes, that's
we
good.
offer. But I do have my friend Tim Clements. He's on often with us.
Tim is a
But
great.
there's a
have
reason
Tim there.
behind that. He does so much for our bank every single day for not only our business customers that I know he speaks a lot on, but for our normal consumer customers. And I wanted him to really talk about what his role is, because so many times, no matter what type of customer is, he's pulled in to the situation because there's more detailed things, offerings that a particular customer might need. And so welcome, Tim, and would love for you to tell us a little bit more about your role at the bank.
Sure, yeah, and good to be back. I always enjoy being here. My role, as Tracy said, is primarily with our business customers, but certainly get involved with many of the consumers. A lot of our business owners are also consumer customers with us. But primarily what I do is I go out with our commercial officers and sit down with our business clients and basically do a health checkup, if you will, with the lack of a better word. Sit down and just go through their business, how they operate on a daily basis. And businesses really, they have 4 different segments that I put them into. They have an area which they deal with their receivables, those that deal with their payables, how they manage their information. And probably more importantly today is risk management. With the fraud and the criminal
absolutely.
activity that's going on out there, that's becoming even more and more important. So I'll sit down with them and do that checkup and say, how are you, how are you collecting your money? How can we provide some tools that'll make that easier for you, get it in more timely, which of course is then going to allow you to turn it around and invest that money in other ways within your company. How do you pay your bills? Timeliness in terms of, how do you put it off so you don't pay until the last point that you have to pay? So again, you have those funds with you as much as you can working for you. But and with the information side, we've got a lot of nice tools that we came out with this year with the app and some things that we've integrated into that. So we're so I'll sit down and walk away and say, these are our suggestions. This is what we think that we can provide to you to make your business more successful and not keep you awake at night worrying about these things.
It's great to have that kind of service, offered through a bank, and you bringing your expertise to the table. We're talking with Tim Clements with Triumph Bank and Tracy Strickland in the house, and let's talk growth. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to talk a little bit more with Tim and tell you all the great things that are going on at Triumph Bank. You're listening to The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
Here's Business Spotlight from your local voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990. And here's your host, George Bryant.
Good morning. Welcome back to our studios. It's looking kind of creepy out there. I don't know.
Low ghoulish.
Tracy Strickland and Tim Clements in the house from Triumph Bank. Let's talk growth. We're talking growth, and we've got the man that your special guest today, Tim, who helps a lot of people grow their business.
Without a doubt. Well, we have got, a wealth of expertise. I mean, we talk about the years that Tim has served in banking, but not only because banking changes almost overnight these days as far as the enhancements, the things that are coming on the horizon, the things that, I'll be just watching TV, watching a football game, and we'll see the really large international MS banks that'll advertise and talk about a certain service that they offer for their personal customers, being able to move money. If I wanted to send, give Tim or you, George, $20, I could just do it on my app. But a lot of times we don't have those Super Bowl kind of budgets like some of the large banks do. But we offer so many of those same services that the really, really big banks do. And we've brought out a lot of new enhancements this year. And I wanted Tim to touch a little bit, maybe first on just a personal consumer. What kind of things are we offering new for them this year?
Well, we, as Tracy said, we're always we're looking to stay current with what we provide. We obviously don't have the budget, as she mentioned, that these very large national and international banks have, but we provide things that are very similar to them. And with our mobile app, our consumer mobile app this past year, we've certainly added a lot of nice features. We've got the Touch ID that allows our customers to use that security function within the online banking product. We have added payment options within that. We've allowed them now to be able to move money back and forth very quickly, as Tracy just explained, not only to your account, but their accounts if they bank with other banks. We'd love to have them bank all with us, but we're realistic and know that they're going to bank with other banks in cases they need to. And also, one of the things we rolled out this year was Card Valet, which is tied to our app, where if our customers have their debit card is compromised, they can't find it, they've dropped it down in the floorboard and they don't know it's there, they can turn that card on and off with our mobile app. As simple as that. If they find it, they turn it right back on. So it's we're always looking for things to add value, and certainly in this security environment, we want to provide that fraud tool or anything to protect those assets for our customers.
Well, everything, I think, for a long time when we first introduced online banking, almost everybody was using the online banking and not as much on the mobile side. But now we see the tides are turning, and most people, if they're using one of those platforms, a lot of times, especially on the personal side, they're going to use their phone. So I love the enhancements that Tim was talking about, being able to have, when you hit the Triumph Bank app, it'll just pop on. And now with the Touch ID, because like used to, you'd have to enter your password every time, and it was just a little bit laborious and took a little extra time. But now with the Touch ID, you literally press a button at the very top, and it'll tell you your instant balance. So you don't have to dig into the app to do that. But everything that you can do online, whether it's paying bills or a person or taking a picture, doing the mobile capture and depositing money, that can all be done at a fingertip. So just ultra convenience to make banking easy. But on the business side, we brought a lot of new things to the table, which are super exciting. So Tim, talk about that.
We have, yes. And again, always looking for ways to improve on what we offer our customers. But this year, on the business side in particular, we've had a lot of enhancements. We go back to the mobile app. The business is now able to initiate a lot more payments, do some approvals that allow them to get out of their office and not worry about having to get back to the office to their PC to be able to approve a wire or a payroll or things like that. So they can be on the road selling their business as opposed to having to do the day-to-day operations that are required within the office. But in addition to that, one of our big things is our Positive Pay product, where Positive Pay is a fraud tool where basically businesses tell us what they have sent out for payments, whether it be checks or electronic payments or things like that. And we basically match that up against what is presented. So if there's something that comes in against their account that they've not told us that they've issued, then right away we notify them either through a text or the app or even just an email, and immediately they can inform us, don't pay that. Let's shut that down. And So that's really big in light of where we are today, unfortunately, as a world, and how the criminal activity is.
Yeah, that's
Right.
pretty fast. Tim, I'm fascinated by that. Is that a software driven then? Obviously, it's check, or is anyone personally, any of your employees, double checking that?
Well, everything's automated. It's all software based. Certainly, we have people behind the scenes that are ultimately, checking
Is something
the final
flags
decision.
questionable or something?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, not only is the customer made aware of it, but we are made aware of
Mm-hmm.
it as a bank, and we know to stay on top of it because we had deadlines. We've got to be able to return those items. So there is human intervention there, but it's designed so that it's as automated as possible, so that the timeliness of getting these things
Right.
done and protecting,
That's
our customers'
amazing.
assets.
That's
Real important.
that is amazing.
Yep.
That's really
What
incredible.
I think the biggest touch is when you work with us at Triumph. I mean, obviously, our personal connection is really what I think stands us out from some of the other larger banks, is because when Tim sits down with a business and he determines that it might be 3 or 4 things that we can truly bring to the table that's going to help simplify their banking life at their company. Tim and Josh Youthy, who is in our IT department, they personally come in to the office. You want to walk through, like, when you've got a new customer, really how we get them started so that they understand fully how to use everything. And
Yeah, certainly. And with some of our customers that haven't been exposed to technology, they're intimidated. So we try to make them feel certainly at ease. And so a lot of banks will say, "Here it is. Here's the instructions, and go with it." Well, myself and Josh and a couple other people on the staff will come out. We'll walk you through it. We'll make sure you fully understand how to do it, so that they're comfortable. And if it means coming back, we'll do that, because we are very much into that personal touch. And
That
make
is
sure
so
that you're
good.
comfortable.
right.
And see, and that's what really makes you guys stand apart, because your doors are open, you're communicating, you're engaging with the customer, and offering them all sorts of ways to, hey, come see us. We'll call you. We'll stop by. I mean, that is really good.
Our clients call Tim directly all the time. You know, I just don't know how many banks, have the direct line for the, head of.
And see, and not that is something that has been, I guess, bred out of the business with the big corporate banks these days. So, you're getting voicemail and
1-800 number or whatever.
Push 2 for this. And so you guys really help out a lot. We're talking with Tim Clements and also Tracy Strickland with Triumph Bank. Let's talk growth. We got a little bit more to go over. We'll be back for our final segment. And you're listening to The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
Put on my blue suede shoes and I boarded the plane. Touch
KWAM. Streaming live at KWAMTheVoice.com. Here's Business Spotlight from your local voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990. And here's your host, George Bryant.
Welcome back to our studios on this Tuesday. It is a trick or treat, and we have got some no tricks today.
No
right?
tricks, just treats. Yes.
Tracy Strickland with Triumph Bank and her special guest, Tim Clements. Welcome back to our studios.
Thanks.
Today
So-
we're talking some really great things that you guys are doing. Triumph Bank, I do want to mention, is a local community bank,
Right.
and you guys are serving the Mid-South. We've got 4 locations throughout Memphis, Poplar, I-240 over here. We also have Germantown, Collierville, Arlington.
Right.
You have a mortgage division if
We
you need a
do.
home loan.
Yes.
And you guys are really super taking care of your customers. TriumphBank.com is a website.
Yes, please
Great
check it
website.
out.
Check it out. And then if all else fails, pick up the phone and call Tim at 333-8800.
Yeah, we'll give his direct line if he cares to give it out. But what I appreciate so much about Tim is that he is very involved in our bank processing company's advisory council. Also sits on another board. So what he learns at those are just all the forward-looking things on the horizon in banking, like we were just talking about earlier. Is like everything things change in banking so quickly. And we really want to, when we bring out any kind of new enhancement, we want to think what is going to be best for the customer maybe in like 2 or 3 years, not just tomorrow. So there's a lot of enhancements coming up on the horizon, and that I know that Tim might have a sneak peek for us, and I'd love for you to share what you're learning.
Sure. Well, from strictly Triumph standpoint, we've got some things that we're rolling out right now that are enhancing some existing products and certainly bringing on board new. some of our merchant services products and services are going to be. It's really exciting to see what we're rolling out. We've actually the point of sale. You've seen when you go down to a restaurant now and you sit down and you order from the little tablet,
Right,
and you.
right.
We think about the convenience that it brings to us, but
Right.
for the business customer, they track their inventory through that same software service. So they're able to do some things, automate some things that they had to manually go to the the back of the store and
Wow.
take
Take out the
inventory and
cooler.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it brings a lot to the table for them. We're enhancing our wire products for our businesses where they can send international wires that are in foreign currency in a much more automated environment. Really big for a lot of our newer customers that we're bringing on board, because there's so much more that we're doing today as a country with international business. But
Right.
Tracy mentioned one of the boards I sit on. I sit on the Southern Financial Exchange, and that group is very involved in a national initiative referred to as faster payments. And what that is expediting payments between not only business to business, but business to customer, customer to business. And that's where our industry has lacked. And so trying to figure out how to pay much quicker and at a less cost to our customer base. So I'm very involved in this type of thing.
It's really amazing. And real quick, we're about to wrap up here, but I had personally wanted to get a takeaway. Tim, how do you see for our listeners, the future looking the next year or so in the Mid-South for business?
Well, I think certainly we see it looking up. You see all the new building, new construction, that's coming on board. Certainly what we've seen over the last probably 3 months with the revitalization of certain areas. I think we'll see that continue. I think there's no question. You look around all areas of the city, you see new construction. The economy's on the upswing. People are spending money. So I only see that continuing.
And money on the sidelines for investing or for business if you want to reinvest in your business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And being able to do that and hire more jobs.
Yep.
I think Memphis and the Mid-South in general, people really.
Need to get our sunglasses out?
Yes.
You're just so bright.
Tim, great having you in, as
Great.
always. Tracy Strickland with Triumph Bank. Tracy, it's good having you in. We're going to take a holiday break for our listeners, and then, but she's not going to go away. We've got some cool things that you'll be hearing from Tracy, and of course, Triumph Bank leading the way in the Mid-South for banking. Thank you so much for being in.
Absolutely, George. Love it so much.
You're listening to The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.